Okay, we're going to be making our holes for our drawstrings on this video, and you'll have to look at the diagram that is in the file section of the Facebook group page for your placement of your stitch markers for where you're going to put your buttonholes. So we're going to begin here. I'm going to show you how to do one or two, and we'll go on from there. Okay. So we've changed colors back to our orchid. Oops. Okay. Get in the camera. And we're going to do our single crochets up to our first stitch marker. Okay, so what you want to do is where you have a stitch marker, you're going to chain 4. We're going to put in one extra chain, and you're going to be chaining around your carrying threads, okay? Or not chaining, you're going to be single crocheting actually around your carrying threads. So I don't know if you can see this. That's one. You go under your carrying threads, pick it up, 2, three, and 4. And then you want to kind of shift your stitches over so that we're covering up, or kind of tug on your carrying threads to cinch it all up. We can take out the stitch marker. We're going to skip 3 spaces, but we put 4 single crochets in there. 1, 2, 3 in the 4th one. We're going to continue on as we have 1, my yarn is too tight here. I need to do some adjusting. Here we go. I have approximately 11 spaces in between my holes, except for, well, no, from not 11 spaces on all of them, because there's approximately 11 here, and then there's, I think, a little bit more here, maybe 18 here, and then 11, and then 18, and 11, and 18. It goes like that. That's how mine worked out. But I'm not counting them right now. Let's get this done. Oops, didn't get everything on that one. Okay, we're up to our next one. But first we want to stop and tighten up our carrying threads. You gotta watch that you're not tightening too much, but you're tightening enough that your stitches are all, you don't see a whole lot of stuff in between. So we can take out our stitch marker, and we know we're going to do 4 here again. 1, 2, need a little more slack on there, 3, and 4. And then we want to tighten up one at a time, one thread at a time, so that they're snugged up there pretty nice. Okay, and then we're going to skip 3. 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one we will continue on, and you just keep doing that all the way around until you're finished. So we've gone all the way around, putting in our holes for our drawstring, but I've kind of on purpose didn't clean up the other side of it, so I can show you how to fix things up a little bit if yours doesn't look quite nice and even like this. If it looks more like this does here, if it's a mess, no fear, you can still go back and fix it without ripping out, hopefully. Let me throw my hook back in place there. But what you want to do is take, like, say you want to fix it from here. Okay, you want to, because you're messed up along here, you're going to take one of your, hold over here nice and tight with the nail of your thumb is probably the easiest, and then take one of your carrying threads and you're going to pull and keep pulling and keep pulling and keep pulling and keep pulling until all of that mess is cleaned up. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other carrying thread and keep pulling. Pull, pull, pull. Need a little more space here. Pull. Okay. It's still not quite perfect, so then what you can do is go back and kind of smooth everything back into place. Make it look nice. And then you might want to give it another tug and it might clean it up even a little bit more. Okay, so we're going to hold here and pull nice and tight. You want to make sure you hold over here real tight though, because if not, then you're going to start cinching up all your work. And then pull and then smooth it out, and then you should have your holes. You don't want to go pulling on them now because you'll loosen up your carrying threads and then you'll have more gaps in it. But it should be looking pretty nice like that. And then when you're done, you're going to come back and we're going to need to go back to our stitch marker again. Let's put our crochet hook in place. And oh gosh. All right. So we're going to go, we're starting round 2 after, or round 1 after the holes. So you want to put your stitch marker in place on your first stitch so that you know you're not doing, you know where to start and stop with your rounds. I want to show you how to do, we're coming up on a buttonhole, or one of the holes right here, and you're just going to continue doing your back loop single crochet as you have previously in each stitch. Now you will be putting a couple extra stitches in on these rounds, but it's not going to matter because unless you're doing a pattern. Of course, if you're doing a pattern, which I don't know why you would be doing a pattern in this part. This is usually, I think on every bag I've seen, this has always been a solid color. So it's okay if you're putting a couple extra stitches in, but here we are. We're at our, at our loop right here. You can see that. And you're just going to continue crocheting. I just wanted to make sure that you understood that part. Okay, this is the last part after you have made your holes for your openings. Let's call them openings for your drawstrings. This is where we started here. Here's the beginning where we started with our openings. And then you've crocheted, this was your row with the openings, and then you crochet 2 more rows after that, and then you can finish off. Now what you want to do is when you're coming to the end like maybe 10 stitches or so before the before you're going to finish off with your the end of your bag. You're going to want to cut your carrying threads, but cut them, kind of stagger them, cut one a little bit shorter than the other, so this way there's not an abrupt change in your final row, and just kind of taper them off. And as you, I don't know if you can, how much you can see it here, but it kind of just tapers down into the bag. Okay, so the bag is finished. Next we'll be going on to our kumihimo drawstring, and then we'll be doing our strap, and then we'll be doing all of our assembly, and then we will be done. Woohoo! Okay, so I'll be back. I'm going to finish up this video and publish it so that you can move on with your bag, and then my next one will be back doing the kumihimo cord, and then after that will be the drawstring.